Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will get daily, weekly, monthly content on regular basis. Use the code Vikas10 and get 10% additional discount while purchasing the course. Also, students, follow us on Telegram and Instagram. The link for the same are mentioned in our description. This video has both English and Hindi. The first part is English and second part is Hindi. Timestamps are mentioned in the description below. So students, we have started a new initiative that is of handwritten notes. It is helpful to understand the news daily, time saving and very useful for your revision. We aims to cover 15 questions via handwritten notes in upcoming bank exams. These handwritten notes are available on daily current affairs content PDF at our mobile application and website careerscloud.in. Only our Crack Current Affairs subscribers will be able to access these handwritten notes. A sample PDF of the handwritten notes will be available in the description. Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for the third week of the March month. Session will be quite interesting students. We upload the daily current affairs video at 5 am in the morning. Weekly current affairs, monthly current affairs and topic wise are uploaded regularly. That will help you prepare better for the competitive exams. Also students, if you are new to our channel, do subscribe to us and also share the link of this video with your friends, cousins, relatives, neighbors and let them know about this interesting platform. Let's start. The first question is, which department or organization under the Ministry of Education has launched the third edition of Prime Minister Yuva 3.0 scheme for mentoring the young authors, right? So young authors will be focused here. They will be mentored. They will be taught about various skills and they will be growing here, right? So this is the third edition of this PM Yuva scheme, right? So which is that department? It is Department of Higher Education. And these young authors, they must be under the 30 years of age. Next, how much funds did Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting Ashwini Vaishnav has announced to boost the creator economy during the Waves 2025 held in March? What is Waves? Waves is your World Audio Visual and Entertainment Summit and it is $1 billion that has been announced by Ashwini Vaishnav for the creator community, right? Take a note of this. Next is, in March, Union Minister for Mines and Coal G. Kishan Reddy has launched India's first ever auction of exploration licenses for 13 blocks of critical minerals in Goa. These EL, that is your exploration licenses for critical minerals, was facilitated under which act and they will be applicable for how many years? This is also one more question that I need you all to remember. So they will be valid for 3 years, these critical mining certifications. And question asked is, under which act it was facilitated? It was under the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Act of 2023. And for 29 critical minerals here, you will be seeing these exploration licenses will be given for 13 blocks of critical minerals, but 29 critical minerals. Next is, identify the organization that certified that the Bengaluru Water Supply and Sewerage Board in March, making it the first water board in India to be recognized for their piped drinking water supply management system. It is Bureau of Indian Standard, that is BIS. Next is, in March, 6 Indian cities were added to the UNESCO's tentative list of World Heritage Site. Which of the following site was not among those included? Among them, you will be seeing that Valley of Flowers National Park, that is in Uttarakhand. It is not included in the UNESCO's tentative list of World Heritage Site. Rest 4 are included here. Next, identify the company that became the first private sector reinsurer in India after receiving the R2 license from IRDAI on 12th of March. It is Value Ethics Reinsurance Limited. This approval was given during the 129th meeting of IRDAI that was chaired by Debashish Pandaji. And this R2 license, right, it signifies the company's authorization so that they can conduct the reinsurance business in India. Moving on, according to Morgan Stanley March 2025 projection, by which year is India expected to become the third largest economy in the world by overtaking Germany, well, with its economy expected to grow to $5.7 trillion. So Indian economy expected to be $5.7 trillion by which year? It will be by the year 2028 and we will be surpassing Germany in terms of the GDP, right? Or in terms of the economy, we will become the third largest economy in the world by the year 2028. Next, in March, Patanjali Ayurveda Limited and Dharampal Satyapal Group, they jointly acquired a majority stake in which company for 4500 crore rupees. So they acquired stake in Magma HDI General Insurance Company Limited, and they acquired together this for 4500 crore rupees. Next, and one thing remember with this, they acquired 98% stake here. They both will be holding 98% stake in this. Next, identify the company in India that recently received the approval from Government of India to raise up to 100 billion rupees through deep discount zero coupon bonds. It is PFC, that is your Power Finance Corporation, and these bonds, they will be maturing in 10 years, correct, and with no option to do so until March 2027. These bonds are issued at a 20 to 25% discount to their face value, and they do not pay regular interest. Next is name the organization that signed a 11,000 crore rupees loan agreement with Andhra Pradesh Capital Region Development Authority in March for the construction of Amravati, Andhra Pradesh. It is HDFC. It is your Housing and Urban Development Corporation, right? HUDCO. Take a note of this, and this loan is worth how much amount? 11,000 crore rupees, and Amravati city will be developed here, and it will be now known as the Greenfield Capital City, right? Not known as, but in order to promote the green projects, in order to promote the greenery, sustainability in the state, this initiative has been carried out. Next is identify the digital initiative introduced by RBI that received the global recognition in March 2025 by earning the Digital Transformation Award 25 from Central Banking Publications of UK. Right? So identify the digital initiative. What is the name of that digital initiative? So these are two, Sarthi and Prabha. For these two digital initiatives, RBI, right, they received this award, right? That is your Digital Transformation Award for 2025. Correct? Take a note of this. What is this PRVA full form? PRVA is your platform for regulatory application, validation and authorization. Moving on, who was appointed as the 24th Prime Minister of Canada in March 25, succeeding Justice Trudeau? So Mark Joseph Carney, right, was appointed as the 24th Prime Minister of Canada, and he will be succeeding Justice Trudeau. Next, in March, Indian Space Research Organization and the Semiconductor Laboratory, they have jointly delivered the first production of the two 32-bit microprocessor, which are they are your Vikram 3201 and Kalpana 3201, and they are both developed for space applications. Right, that means in space systems, in space equipments, these two 32-bit microprocessors will be utilized. Next, who won the 2025 season opening Australian Grand Prix that was held at the Alberta Park Circuit in Melbourne, Australia on 16th of March 2025? It is Lando Norris, right? And Lando Norris, he drives for McLaren. He is from UK, right? And he won this Australian Grand Prix. Then Red Bulls, Max Verstappen was on the second position, and George Russell of Mercedes was on the third position. Next, in which country the seawater desalination plant will be established as per the contract secured by the joint venture of L&T and Water Effluent Treatment Business and Lentania SA of Spain in March 2025. So basically it is a seawater desalination. That means seawater will be collected, and from this salt will be separated and clean drinking water will be separated. So in which country this plant will be established? This will be established in Saudi Arabia. Next, in March, the Union Minister for Finance Nirmala Sitharaman has launched a mobile application for the Prime Minister's internship scheme in Delhi, and also inaugurated the first facilitation center for PMIS, that is located where? So it will be located in Kolkata, West Bengal. And remember this PMIS scheme, under this scheme internship will be provided to the youth in the top 500 companies of India, and it will be an interesting scheme as the physical or practical knowledge will be provided to the individuals here. Next, who assumed the office as the new Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago on March 17, succeeding Dr. Keith Rowley? So, Stuart Richard Young, right? He assumed the Prime Minister's office of Trinidad and Tobago. Next, identify the women's cricket team that won the Women's Premier League title in the final that was held in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So, who won the women's IPL team, IPL event? That was the third edition here. It was won by Mumbai Indians. Take a note of this. Mumbai Indians was captained by Harmanpreet Kaur, right? And Delhi Capitals, who secured second position, right, over the runner-up here, was led by Captain Meghan More-Lanek. Next, mention the company that launched the open source lightweight AI model series Gamma 3 as a successor to Gamma 2 in March 2025. So it is Google, right? This Gamma model, these are of Google. Next is in March, the Lok Sabha Secretariat collaborated with the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology to develop AI-powered solutions dash that is aiming at providing multilingual support and improving the parliamentary operations. Right? So it is your Sansad Bhashini. Next, at which institute ISRO's chairman Dr. V. Narayan inaugurated Shri S. Ramakrishnan Center of Excellence in Fluid and Thermal Science Research in March 2025. It is your IIT Madras, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. Next, name the organization that in collaboration with India AI under MEITY launched the India AI Hackathon 25 themed mineral targeting using artificial intelligence. It is GSI, Google Geological Survey of India. Moving on, mention the city which is set to be launched or set to launch India's first green waste processing plant under Swachh Bharat Mission Urban via public-private partnership model as announced in March 2025. It is of Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Next, RBI, they signed an MOU with Dash to promote the use of local currencies for cross-border transaction, aiming to boost the bilateral trade. So RBI, they signed an MOU with whom? With Bank of Mauritius, and this will promote the usage of local currency, that is Indian rupees and Mauritian rupiah, between the cross-border transaction. Next, mention the Indian literary theorist and Padma Bhushan awardee who was honored with the 2025 Holberg Prize for her influence contribution to feminist theory, literary criticism and post-colonial thought. It is Gayatri Chakravarti Spivak. Next, Bajaj Finserv Limited, they acquired what percentage of stake held by Alliance SE in their Indian non-life and life insurance joint ventures in March 2025? It is 26%. Next, which spacecraft returned the astronauts Sunita Williams and Barry Butch Wilmore to Earth after the extended mission to the International Space Station? So, what is the name of that aircraft? It is SpaceX Dragon capsule, and the mission was named as Crew 9. Next, identify the sport that was approved by International Olympic Committee for inclusion in the 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Games. It is boxing. Next, name the AI artificial intelligence chip which is set to launch in the second half of 2025 as announced by the Chief Executive Officer Jensen Huang of NVIDIA during the GTC 2025 conference in March 2025. It is Blackwell Ultra. Take a note of this. Next is which country's Navy is jointly conducted the 23rd edition of the Varuna bilateral naval exercise with the Indian Navy from 19th to 22nd of March in the Arabian Sea. Which is it? Which country's Navy? It is France Navy along with Indian Navy, right? We are conducting this Varuna exercise, that is the 23rd edition of this exercise, will be held in two phases. First is your harbor phase and second is your sea phase. Next, students, mention the Singapore-based payments infrastructure firm that partnered with NPCI International Payment Limited, that is your NIPL, on 19th of March to enable UPI transactions in Singapore. Now, UPI transaction, all the tourists visiting Singapore will be able to pay using UPI. So, which is the payment company of Singapore with which we have NIPL as partnered? It is HitPay. Next, mention the mascot unveiled by the Union Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, Dr. Mansukh Mandviya, for second Khelo India Para Games in Delhi. What is the mascot? It is Ujwala. Next, in March, the book titled March to Glory, the story of India's Dash World Cup win was published by Hockey Citizen Group. So, in March, the book titled March to Glory, the story of India's 1975 World Cup win was published by the Hockey Citizen Group. Next, the United Nations International Day of Happiness celebrated annually on 20th of March. What is India's rank according to the World Happiness Report of 2025? Our country stands at 118th position. And it is Finland that was on the first position, followed by Denmark, then Iceland, and then your Sweden. Next is mention the element that was discovered in March 2025 beneath the town of Folsville in the Moselle region of France by scientists, a significant step towards clean and sustainable energy. So what is that mineral or element that was discovered? So hydrogen was discovered, and we know that green hydrogen is considered as a fuel of future, as on its burning water vapor is released as a byproduct and no carbon or carbon dioxide or methane gas is released. Next, identify the acclaimed producer and head writer of Cartoon Network's animated series Courage the Cowardly Dog, who recently passed away. Very famous TV cartoon series, students, right? And the producer and head writer of this Courage the Cowardly Dog, that is David Stephen Cohen, has recently passed away. Next, according to Traction Technologies Limit report released in March, what is the total capital in billions raised by 7,000 women-led startups in India? So how much amount of the total money has been raised, total capital has been raised by 7,000 women-led startups in India? So the amount is being asked here. What is the amount here that has been raised? It is $26.4 billion. Next, in March, DPIIT, they partnered with which bank to promote innovation and support product startups, innovators and entrepreneurs across India? It is which bank? It is Yes Bank. Next, what is the revised minimum investment threshold for zero coupon, zero principal instrument on the social stock exchanges set by SEBI in March to make it more affordable for smaller investors? So what is the revised minimum investment here threshold? It is 1,000 rupees. Next, mention the country that emerged as the largest source of remittance to India in FY24 as per the changing dynamics of India's remittances. Insights from the 6th round of India's remittance survey published by RBI in March 2025. Which is it? It is UAE, United Arab Emirates. I correct myself, not UAE, it is United States of America, right? Is the largest source of remittance to India. Next, identify the company that signed an MOU with Bluge Aerospace Private Limited, Agency for New and Renewable Energy Research and Technology, that is ANERT, and for Cochin International Airport Limited in March to establish the world's first hydrogen-fueled vertical takeoff and landing aviation ecosystem. That means if this is a ground, then directly vertical takeoff and landing can be done by these aircraft that are basically the bigger version of the drones. Right, so which identify that company? It is Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, BPCL. They signed the MOU with these two organizations, right? That is an airport, and Bluge Aerospace Private Limited. Next, who was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Public Services through Cultural Leadership at United Kingdom Parliament in March 2025? It is Konidela Chiranjeevi, that is K. Chiranjeevi, right? He is an Indian veteran actor, a Padma awardee, conferred with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Public Service. Next, hydrologist Gunter Bloschel received the 2025 Stockholm Water Prize for contribution to flood risk reduction and water resource management in March. He hails from which country? He hails from Austria. Next, who was elected as the first female and the 10th president of the International Olympic Committee after winning a secret ballot among the 7 candidates during the 144th IOC session in March 2025. So, Christy Leigh Converty Seward. Next, in March, Bajaj Auto Limited announced the reappointment of whom? So, Rajiv Bajaj was reappointed as MD and CEO for a 5-year term starting from 1st of April 2025. Next, mention the state in India that recently became the first to establish a senior citizen commission aimed at ensuring the protection, welfare and rehabilitation of the elderly population. It is which state? It is Kerala state. Take a note of this. This is an important question. Senior citizen commission, first state, it is Kerala. Then next, which of the following individual was not appointed as a member of the IAC, that is Insurance Advisory Committee, by IRDAI in March 2025? So, Sanjeev Sanyal. Next, who was appointed as the new Prime Minister of Tunisia in March 25, succeeding Kamel Madouri? So, who was appointed here as the new Prime Minister? Sara Zafrani Zenzri. Next, and she became the second woman Prime Minister of Tunisia. Next, which country appointed Netumbo Nadi Nadiavich as the first female president during the 35th Independence Day on 21st of March? So, Namibia. Right option is Namibia. Next, how much amount did Bain Capital commit through preferential equity allotment and warrants to acquire 18% fully diluted stake in Manappuram Finance Limited as a part of the agreement signed in March 2025? It is 4,385 crore rupees. Next, which biotech startup received the regulatory approval from Indian Parliament Office in March for the patent of the world's first indigenously developed bispecific third generation chimeric antigen receptor, that is CAR T cells in India. These are for cancer treatment, right? And which is that organization? It is Cellogen Therapeutics Private Limited. Next, name the artificial intelligence powered unified cloud platform launched by Tata Communications Limited in March to provide intelligent, cost effective, and flexible enterprise cloud solutions. It is Vayu. Vayu is the name of this AI powered cloud platform. So that's all for the day, students. Now let's move to some revision part that will be beneficial for your learning. Let's revise some one-liner, students. National Affairs. Kishan Reddy to inaugurate 175th Foundation Day celebration of Geological Survey of India at Kolkata. Then JP Nadda inaugurated the 9th National Health Mission Summit in Puri, Odisha. Government has allowed Aadhaar face authentication in private applications to ease the service access. Then Employees Provident Fund Organization has retained the interest rate on the Provident Fund deposits at 8.25%. Then Jahan Khusrau Festival marked 75 years. Can you tell me the location where this is held? This is your homework. Next, Army Chief General Upendra Trivedi honored the World War I Indian soldiers at Neuilly Chapel Memorial in France. Then Mizoram launched Women Entrepreneurship Platform first in Northeast. Next, Maharashtra government celebrated with Meta to launch the WhatsApp-based citizen services. And Amit Shah inaugurated a workshop on sustainable dairy sector in New Delhi. Next, Cabinet has approved the development of ropeway project from Sonprayag to Kedarnath in Uttarakhand. Then Cabinet has approved livestock disease control program worth 3,880 crore rupees outlay. CCI has approved the Shell's 100% acquisition of Raj Petro Speciality. Then government has launched a model that is women-friendly Gram Panchayats nationwide. Cheetah reintroduction plan to be expanded to Gujarat. And Tata Motors begins India's first hydrogen truck trials for net zero goals. Then Sahitya Academy has organized Festival of Letters 2025 at Rabindra Bhavan in New Delhi from 7 to 12th of March. Bhupendra Yadav has inaugurated World Sustainable Development Summit 2025. Next is banking and financials. SIDBI, they have signed an MOU with Tata Capital Limited to strengthen the financing avenues for MSMEs. RBI has imposed a penalty on HSBC, IIFL, Samasta Finance for violating norms, and SEBI has introduced a bond central to boost transparency in India's corporate bond market. Then India retained the fastest growing economy tag with 6.2% GDP in the third quarter of FY25. TCS extended the partnership with Norway's DNB Bank for 5 years. India's core sectors grew by 4.6% in January. GST collection jumps by 9.1% in Feb to 1.84 lakh crore rupees. World Bank, if we are talking about it, India needs 7.8% growth to become Viksit Bharat for the next 22 years by 2047. Then UPI post 5% dip in volume to 16.11 billion, 7% value in Feb. Next is appointments and resignation. SBI Life appointed Dora Babu the Parthi as the Deputy CEO. Then Manan Kumar Mishra re-elected as the Chairman of Bar Council of India. Economic Affairs Secretary Ajay sets additional charge for Revenue Department. Then Levi's ropes in Diljit Dosanjh as their global ambassador. Then Christian Stalker became Australian Chancellor as a three-party government's sworn in. Then Dr. Mayank Sharma takes charge as the Controller General of the Defence Accounts. RBL Bank has appointed Agarwal as the President of the Branch Banking and T.S. Pari as their Chief Operating Officer. Then MRF brand appointed Shubman Gill as their Brand Ambassador, and RBI has appointed Ajit Ratnakar Joshi as their Executive Director. Next, students, we are talking about international affairs. Microsoft has unveiled a quantum chip by the name Majorana 1 that is powered by new state of matter, right? Also remember recently it was Google. They have also launched a new quantum chip. What is the name of that quantum chip? This is your homework. Coming back, Microsoft, they have unveiled this Majorana 1 that is a new quantum chip. Then Brazil, they have joined the OPEC Plus forum to balance the oil production and energy transition goal. We have discussed this, and this year's BRICS summit will also be held in basically the chairmanship of BRICS is with Brazil. Then India, Bangladesh, they have agreed to launch a new hotline between the borders. That means it will establish a communication between India and Bangladesh. Then the Kelly Fund, they have launched in the margins of the resume sessions of the COP16, and United Arab Emirates, they have launched a 10-year blue residency visa system. Similarly, a golden visa system launched by USA will be costing how much? What is the amount that an individual need to pay for buying this golden visa? This is your homework. Next, name the project that was launched by Union Minister Rajiv Ranjan Singh worth $25 million to strengthen the animal health security in India. This is your pandemic fund project, right? And this has been launched by whom? Union Minister Rajiv Ranjan Singh, who is the Union Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, and he has launched this pandemic fund project. This project will be a fund of, or this fund will be of $25 million that will be funded by the G20 pandemic fund, or G20 countries, group of 20 countries pandemic fund. Correct. Apart from this, he has also launched the 21st edition of the livestock census, which will be conducted till Feb 2025 at a cost of 200 crore rupees. Also, it will be implemented in collaboration with Asian Development Bank, Food and Agriculture Organization of UN, and World Bank Group. Next thing, remember, the G20 Pandemic Fund was established under the Indonesia's presidency of G20 in 2022. Next, which ministry has recently launched Gram Panchayat Level Weather Forecasting Initiative in collaboration with the India Meteorological Department to provide daily weather updates to Gram Panchayat? It is Ministry of Panchayati Raj, and this is the first time that the localized weather forecast will be available at the Gram Panchayat level. This has been developed in collaboration with Ministry of Panchayati Raj and India Meteorological Department under the Ministry of Earth Science. Next, who has recently unveiled the statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel at the Census Building in New Delhi? So, who inaugurated it? It was inaugurated by Amit Shah, our Home Minister. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, also known as the Iron Man of India, right? And also, this is basically he gave so much, or he struggled so much, and he gave so much sacrifice for the nation's interest. For the same reason, this statue has been provided. Also, a CRS mobile application, that is civil registration system mobile application, has been launched, that has been also be used, or that will be providing a hassle-free registration of the births and deaths of the individuals. With this, you will be able to get easily your death certificate and a birth certificate. Next, one more thing, remember, Kendriya Griha Mantri Dakshata Padak. This was instituted by which ministry? Ministry of Home Affairs, and it was instituted on 1st of Feb 2024. Next, which state has recently declared the Sardar Sammelan as their state festival? So, which is that state? It is Telangana state that has declared Sardar Sammelan as their state festival. Directly remember, the Chief Secretary of Telangana, Shanti Kumari, declared this Sardar Sammelan as a state festival of Telangana. And here, this Sardar Sammelan is celebrated 2 days after Diwali. This is a primary event organized by Yadav community since 1946. And this festival features a grand procession of decorated buffaloes, symbolizing your pride and devotion. Next, which ministry has recently launched revised standard operating procedures, partnered with Railway Protection Force to protect the vulnerable children that are found on the railway premises nationwide? So, which is that ministry? It is Ministry of Women, Child and Development. They have partnered with Railway Protection Force, and in order with this, they have launched a standard operating procedures that how they will be saving the children that are found on the railway premises, right? The child who are left by their parents, right? So, to help them, to provide them with a better education, with better healthcare facilities, with proper food and nutrition, right? And help them grow in their journey, this standard operating procedures has been launched here. Also, over the last 5 years, Railway Protection Force, they have rescued more than 57,000 children from human trafficking, and among them, almost 80,000 plus were girls. Next, rural employment under Manrega has increased from 16,600 crore rupees of FY 2007 to FY 14 to dash between FY 15 to FY 25. So, it has increased to 2,923 crore rupees from 1,660 crore rupees. Next, which country was elected as the country of focus for the 55th International Film Festival of India to be held in Panaji, Goa? Which country? It is Australia was the focus country here. This was the 55th edition of the International Film Festival of India, scheduled to be held in Panaji, Goa. Correct? Country of focus, that is Australia. Next is which subdivision has officially been declared as the 17th district of Nagaland? So, Meluri. Meluri is the 17th district of Nagaland following the notification from the governor of Nagaland. Take a note of this. And who is the governor of Nagaland? Laganation. Next is which zoological park will become the first zoo in India to receive the certification from IGBC, that is Indian Green Building Council. So which is that zoological park? It is Durgesh Aryana Zoological Park, located in Himachal Pradesh, correct? And it is located in the Bhakhandi area of the Kangra district, that is in Himachal Pradesh, right? And it will become the first zoo in India to receive the certification from IGBC. This certification will highlight the commitment for sustainable infrastructure, eco-friendly practices that are being followed there, the conservation of the environment, and so on. Next, which ministry has recently reconstituted the Central Apprenticeship Council for a period of 3-year term? It is Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, correct? So this is the ministry that reconstituted this Central Apprenticeship Council for the next 3 years. Who will chair this council? It will be chaired by Jayant Chaudhary. Next, which ministry has recently amended the bicycle retro reflective device, that is quality control order for 2020? So which ministry it will be? It is Ministry of Commerce and Industry. This QCO, quality control order on bicycle retro reflective devices, right? It is one of the many initiatives for making sure that the quality is good, providing a better quality ecosystem, attracting various investment, and also focusing on the entrepreneurship talent that places importance on product quality. Or also remember here there is an exemption on the import of 200 bicycle reflectors for the purpose of research and development by the manufacturers. Next, who has recently inaugurated the Shilp Samagam Mela in New Delhi? It was inaugurated by Dr. Virendra Kumar. He also inaugurated Tulip. Right, Tulip is a brand that is Traditional Artisans Upliftment Livelihood Program. This is a digital platform for the craft and community empowerment. Right, this initiative will offer an opportunity to honor the skills and cultural diversity of the artisans. Next, which organization celebrated the 50th Raising Day on 7th of November 2024? It is NTPC Limited. Correct, NTPC 50 years logo was also launched on the occasion of reflecting NTPC's everlasting commitment to growth and excellence. Also, remember, this was the 50th Raising Day celebrated on 7th of November. Next is, in which state the first ever integrated check post was launched on India-Bhutan border? So, first integrated check post, it was in Assam. Right, and this integrated check post will allow the entry and exit for the third country nationals via land, and it will cover 14.5 acres in the Daranga district, and it will also enhance trade and cross-border transit with modern infrastructure. Next is, which state has recently become the first Indian state to implement a dedicated semiconductor policy? It is Gujarat, and Gujarat is also known as the manufacturing hub for semiconductors. Next is, in which city India's first writers village was inaugurated to encourage the creativity and offer a supportive space for writers from all over the nation. Right, in which city that was known as the writers village? It is Dehradun in Uttarakhand. Right, it is known as the writers village, correct? And here remember, it was conceived by the chief minister. This was conceived by the former chief minister Ramesh Pokhriyal, right, who was a renowned writer in his own terms, right? And this aims to encourage the creativity and support the space for writers from all over the nations here. So which is the first writers village of India? It is Dehradun in Uttarakhand. Before moving on, students, let's revise some one-liners. Let's start with appointments and resignation. Shaktikant Das has been appointed as the Principal Secretary second to the Prime Minister. Kotak Mahindra Prime appointed Shahrukh Todiwala as the new Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer. Niti Aayog's Chief Executive Officer Subramaniam's tenure extended by how many years? By 1 year. Then government has extended Rajiv Singh Raghuvanshi's tenure as DGCI by another 1 year. Kash Patel has been sworn in as the 9th FBI Director. Unilever CEO Hen Schumacher has recently stepped down from his position. Then Tata Sons Chairman N. Chandrasekaran to lead Ratan Tata Endowment Foundation. Also, the Finance Secretary Tuhin Kanta Pandey appointed as the new SEBI Chairman.
Next is related to sports students. Shami has joined the elite list of bowlers with 200 ODI wickets. Then Rohit Sharma became the second fastest to complete 11,000 runs in ODI cricket. Then Virat Kohli became the fastest to secure 14,000 ODI, that is one day international runs. Gulveer Singh made history by becoming the first Indian to break 13-minute barrier in men's 5,000 meter indoor race. Then Jeevan and Vijay Sundar Parshnath won the Pune ATP Challenger 100 doubles title. Indian women football team has finished third in the second Pink Ladies Cup 2025. Next is related to banking and finance. RBI has imposed penalty on Citibank, Ashirwad Microfinance and JM Finance home loans. Then NDSL and CDSL, they have unified the investor app. This application has been launched by them. Mobiquick to acquire 3.39% stake in B2B, that is business to business infra platform Blossom for 1.49 crore rupees. Then ex-SBI chairman Dinesh Khara to head panel to implement amendment to insurance law. RBI to launch the Financial Literacy Week to focus on women's prosperity. And SEBI, they have slapped 10 lakh rupees penalty on Axis Securities for violating the stock rules.
Next, name the seventh vessel in the anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft series that was recently launched by the Indian Navy at L&T Kattupalli in Tamil Nadu. So it is by the name Abhay. Right, Abhay is the seventh vessel in the anti-submarine warfare shallow watercraft. The project here, it aligns with Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is Self-Reliant India initiative, with over 80% indigenous content. The fifth and the sixth anti-submarine warfare, they are, sixth is your Agrah, and sixth is your Akshay, and seventh is your Abhay. Next, which company's LM2500 marine engine has recently been chosen to power Indian Navy's next generation missile vessel? It is GE Aerospace. Take a note of this. It will provide 6 kits of this LM2500 marine gas turbine engines will be assembled and tested by the Industrial and Marine Gas Turbine Division of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited in Bengaluru, Karnataka. Next, which company has recently developed an innovative handheld anti-drone gun by the name Vajra Shots? This Vajra Shots was developed by Big Bang Boom Solutions, and it has been developed and it has been deployed in the Indian Army and Indian Air Force, and they shoot down drones up to 4 kilometers range. Next, who has recently launched 2 significant initiatives, that is the third edition of Acing Development of Innovative Technologies Challenge and the 13th Defense India Startup Challenge. So who recently launched them? They were launched by Rajnath Singh, our Defense Minister. Apart from this, Aditi, right? Remember this Aditi 3.0. This full form can be asked, that is Acing Development of Innovative Technologies. Next, where was the 15th edition of exercise Vajra Prahar conclude scheduled to be conducted from 2nd to 22nd of November? So this exercise will be at Idaho, USA. Take a note of this. Next, name the exercise between India and Indonesia held from 1st to 12th of November in Jakarta, Indonesia. The name of that exercise is Garuda Shakti. Right? Next, name the exercise between India and Vietnam conducted from 4th to 23rd of November in Haryana. It is Winbeck's exercise between India and Vietnam. Right? Winbeck's exercise. Next is, in which state DRDO conducted the first flight test of long-range attack cruise missile? It is Odisha. It is Odisha. And this is the new variant of the Nirbhay LRLACM. Next, which organization has recently handed over the authority holding sealed particulars of P7 parachute systems to the Directorate General of Quality Assurance? It is DRDO. Next, name the high-intensity tri-service exercise conducted by Indian Army from 10th to 18th of November. Name of the exercise being Purvi Prahar. Next, where was the third edition of the India-Australia Joint Military Exercise Ostra Hind conducted from 8th to 21st of November? So the exercise being held in Pune, Maharashtra. Right? Ostra Hind. Next, name the space tabletop exercise that was recently conducted by Defense Space Agency in New Delhi. It is Antriksh Abhyas. Correct? Next,
Which country has recently received two water jets propelled fast interceptor crafts from the Indian Navy? It is Mozambique. It is Mozambique. Next, name the multi-barrel rocket launcher weapon system that has recently completed flight test by DRDO. Name of that multi-barrel rocket launcher is Pinaka. Important, take a note of this. This test involved 12 rockets that were tested here, and this Pinaka will replace GRAD BM-21 rocket launcher for the Indian Navy. Indian Army, not Navy. Next, name the multilateral anti-annual joint humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercise that was conducted by Indian Army from 18th to 19th of November in Gujarat. Exercise being Sanyukt Vimochan 2024. Right? Take a note of it. Next, in which state DRDO has recently conducted the flight trials of India's first long-range hypersonic missile. So the test for the same was conducted in Odisha, and the missile carries a payload of over 1500 km, enhancing India's military range, also developed by DRDO. Which country has recently become the first Caribbean nation to adopt India's popular instant payment platform UPI? It is Trinidad and Tobago, that is TNT. With this TNT, they became the first Caribbean nation to adopt the UPI. Next, which bank has recently launched the multi-currency world travel card, which allow the users to load and manage multiple currencies on a single card? It is Punjab National Bank. Right, this card supports 6 major foreign currencies, that is US dollar, euro, UAE, that is your United Arab Emirates dirham, then Britain or British pound sterling, Canadian dollar, that is CAD, and your Singapore dollar. Correct, that is your Singapore dollar. So these are the 6 currencies that are being supported here. Next, which non-banking financial company has recently partnered with RuPay to launch an equated monthly installment feature on UPI payments? So which non-banking financial company? That is your Bob Card Limited. This is the NBFC. Here the payments can be made via UPI at both online and offline merchants, and these payments can be converted into EMI at the checkout. Next, which insurance company has recently partnered with AU Small Finance Bank to offer life insurance solutions to their customers? It is Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance Company Limited. This partnership will provide AU Small Finance Bank customers to access the Kotak Life's comprehensive life insurance products that includes your long-term, that includes your retirement, saving and investment plans. Next, for which country? Our country India has recently extended a budgetary support in the form of a rollover of 50 million $15 million treasury bills for another year. That is your $50 million T-bills. It is to Maldives, right? And this extension has been granted by State Bank of India. Correct? In the form of T-bills, that is your treasury bills. Next, in September, SEBI, they have allowed Dash to sell credit default swaps, a move which aim to boost the liquidity in the corporate bond market. So SEBI, they have allowed to sell the credit default swaps in mutual fund, right? So I repeat, SEBI allowed mutual funds to sell these credit default swaps that will boost liquidity in the corporate bond market. Next, SEBI, they have introduced Dash, a process as an alternative to the reserve book building process for voluntarily delisting. So SEBI, they have introduced a fixed price process as an alternative to the reserve book building process for voluntarily delisting. As per this new framework, the promoters, they can offer to buy back all the publicly held shares at a price at least 15% higher than the fair price of the stock, and this new framework will be applicable to only those companies whose shares are frequently traded. Next, which bank has recently launched Sugam Rin Bhugtan Yojana, that is Sugam scheme? This is a one-time settlement, negotiated settlement scheme to recover non-performing retail loans. It is IDBI Bank, right? And this scheme, it runs from 2nd September 2024 to 25th of March 2025, and this scheme will provide distressed borrowers a chance to settle the dues and allow the avoiding the legal complications.
Next, which organization or bank has recently provided a loan worth 31,673.79 crore rupees to Mumbai Metropolitan Region Development Authority to fast track the development of 9 key infrastructure projects? It is PFC, that is your Power Finance Corporation, and the major amount sanctioned is 15,071 crore rupees will be allocated to specifically for Thane Borivali twin tunnel project. Do remember that also. Next, which organization recently launched a dedicated foreign portfolio investor outreach cell as a part of an alternative investment fund and foreign portfolio investors department? So, which is that organization? It is SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India. This was a part of SEBI's AIF, Alternative Investment Fund, and FPI's department, that is Foreign Portfolio Investors Fund department. Next is SEBI. They have made UPI mandatory for individual investors applying for up to dash in debt security public issue from 1st of November 2025. So SEBI, they have made UPI mandatory for individual investors applying for up to 5 lakh rupees in debt security public issues. This will provide, or these provisions, they will basically be applicable from 1st of November 2024, and this will streamline the application process for the public issue of debt securities, non-convertible redeemable preference shares, municipal debt securities, and securities debt instruments. Next, as per NPCI recent notification, auto replenishment of Dash and RuPay National Common Mobility Card will no longer require the standard 24-hour pre-debit notification. Right? So, the auto replenishment of FASTag, that is NETC FASTag, correct, and NCMC National Common Mobility Card, they won't be requiring any 24-hour standard pre-debit notification. Correct? And now you will be seeing these FASTags, they will also be linked to your satellites, right? And it will, you don't have to wait on the highways, directly using the GPS your amount will be deducted. Next, SEBI, they have recently announced a new framework to curb the excessive speculation in the dash with effect from 20th of November 2024. So it is to basically curb the excessive speculation in the stock market, right? And these new rules, they will be coming into effect from 20th November. Earlier, SEBI constituted an expert working group to review the regulatory framework to protect the investors and foster the growth of equity derivatives market. Next, which state has recently signed a memorandum of understanding with REC Limited for the financial support of 3 lakh crore rupees for the infrastructure projects? It is the Rajasthan state, right? And according to this MOU, REC Limited, they will provide a financial support of 50,000 crore rupees per annum to fund these projects, and this partnership will support the development of both power and non-power infrastructure in the Rajasthan state. Next, which financial institution has recently announced to invest over $272 million to support India's economic growth and sustainability? It is United States International Development Finance Corporation. Here, this investment includes key allocations such as $40 million loan to Mumbai, Maharashtra-based APAC Financial Services Private Limited, and DFC is focusing on women empowerment through a $50 million loan to Mumbai, Maharashtra-based Incred Financial Services. Next, which state has recently received $162 million loan from Asian Development Bank to enhance the tourism development? It is Himachal Pradesh. Right? Himachal Pradesh is the state that has received this $162 million loan from Asian Development Bank to enhance the tourism development in areas such as the districts of Mandi, Hamirpur, Kullu, Hamirpur, Kangra. These locations, these districts will be benefited the most. Next, which ministry has recently released the new guidelines for handling delays in submitting income tax return? So it is Ministry of Finance. They have recently released the new guidelines. These new guidelines will supersede any previous guidelines, and they will be coming into effect from 1st of October 2024. Right? Take a note of it. Next, SEBI, they have recently reduced the training lot size for privately placed infrastructure investment trust to how much? To 25 lakh rupees from 1 crore earlier, right? So in which these are your infrastructure investment trust, right? And SEBI, they have reduced the training lot size for them to 25 lakh rupees, that was earlier 1 crore rupees. Also, these regulation came into effect from the day of their official notification of SEBI, while some of the provisions will come into force 60 days later. Next, which NBFC has recently raised 100 crore rupees from Mizuho Bank Limited of Japan? So it is Satya Micro Capital Limited. They have recently raised 100 crore rupees from Mizuho Bank Limited of Japan. Students, let's revise some one-liners. Zomato, it has been renamed to Eternal Food Delivery Company with a new logo, and under this Eternal, it will be Blinkit, Hyperpure, then Zomato, they will be coming. Then Odisha government, they have launched multiple initiatives that will empower the girls. Beti Bachao Beti Padhao initiative. 38th edition of the Surajkund International Craft Mela was held in Faridabad, that is in UP. Then Maharashtra government, they have launched Maitri 2.0 portal to make investment process hassle free. Next is FICCI, they an export city of Dubai. They have forged a partnership ahead of the 2025 Asia Pacific Cities Summit. Then 32nd season of the Indian Art History Congress began in Noida, UP. Cabinet has approved the extension of the tenure of National Commission for Safai Karamcharis for the next 3 years, and India will be hosting the first wave summit in Mumbai from 1st to 4th of May. Next, India has launched the first indigenous automated biomedical waste treatment plant, that is in New Delhi. Important. Next is DPIIT. They have signed a pact with Korean Institute to enhance the cooperation in the logistics sector. Then Indian cricket team has urged the people to join and donate organs and save lives. Indian Institute of Spices Research, they will be hosting a spice startup conclave. Next is third edition of the Kashi Tamil Sangam, that to be held on from 15th of Feb onwards. Next is Reliance Consumer has launched a sports drink, that is Spinner, at 10 rupees. Next is ONGC. They have signed a pact with BP Bharat Petroleum for oil exploration. Next is India has introduced new HS code that will allow the exporters of GI recognized rice varieties in the international market. Next is Honeywell and AMG Green. They have signed an MOU that will advance the carbon capture SAF in India. Next is second edition of India-France AI Policy Roundtable was held on the sidelines of the AI Exchange Summit held in Paris, France, and it was attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Emmanuel Macron. Then Amit Shah chaired the Parliamentary Consultative Committee for the Ministry of Home Affairs on Cyber Security and Cybercrime. Government has revised the guidelines for Market Intervention Scheme, that is MIS. Then THDC India, they have entered the thermal energy sector and have begun the operation of 660 megawatt unit at Khurja plant. BPCL, they have signed major deals with Petrobras and Shipping Corporation of India. Next is Airtel, they have awarded the contract to Nokia to expand 5G wireless broadband access. So these were some one-liner, students. Now let's move to the main content. Next is which department has recently organized the National MSME Cluster Outreach Program in partnership with SIDBI. So which department? It is Department of Financial Services. Correct? Take a note of this. Moving on, which ministry has recently approved the establishment of first all-women battalion of CISF, that is Central Industrial Security Force. Right? Which ministry? It is the Ministry of Home Affairs. Right? The establishment of this all-women battalion will encourage more aspiring young women to join CISF, and women constitute 7% of the CISF that have been preferred choice for them among the CAPF, that is Central Armed Police Forces. Next, which category industries have been recently exempted by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change from obtaining approval from the State Pollution Control Board? Right? Which is that category of, or which category industries? It is your white category industries that have been exempted by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to obtain this State Pollution Control Certificate. Right? Take a note of this. What are these white category industries? These are those category industry, or in those industries that create almost zero pollution in their process of making products, right? And this decision is a part of a broader initiative that will streamline the business processes. Next, name the festival series that was recently launched by the Ministry of Culture to celebrate and preserve the India's traditional art. It is Amrit Parampara. Right, this is the festival series launched by the Ministry of Culture and to preserve the India's traditional art. This was held from 2 to 5th of November at Kartavya Path, that was at the Center for Cultural Resources and Training campus at Dwarka, Gujarat. This event it showcased various art forms including Nagar Sankirtan, Govardhan Puja from Braj, Kuchipudi from Andhra Pradesh, Bharatanatyam from other states, and many things were also showcased here. Basically to promote the traditional art here. Next, name the pilot project that was recently launched by the Ministry of Science and Technology under National Geospatial Policy 2022 to illustrate the possible applications of geospatial technologies. It is Operation Dronagiri. Take a note of it. Next, who has been recently inaugurated? The first ever Bodoland Mahotsav in New Delhi. Who inaugurated it? It was inaugurated with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The theme of this Bodoland Mahotsav is important: peace and harmony for prosperous Bharat. I repeat, peace and harmony for prosperous Bharat. Also, central government has given a special package of 1500 crore rupees and the Assam government special package to boost the Bodoland Mahotsav. Next is which organization has recently celebrated its 72nd Foundation Day on 15th of November 2024. It is EPFO, that is Employees Provident Fund Organization, right? The EPFO, they have recently celebrated their 72nd Foundation Day. Moving on, which act permits recent rule about light motor vehicle drivers operating transport vehicles under 7500 kg without additional authorization? It is under the Motor Vehicles Act of 1998. That is, if the vehicle is carrying goods worth 7500 kilograms and less, then they do not need to have this any other license, right? Without any, because they can use the light motor vehicle license for this 7500 kg vehicle also, right? But they do not have to go for the heavy vehicle license, right? Above this payload, then they have to go for the license. Next, which educational institute was recently commemorated by the Department of Post with a special cover on its 121st anniversary? It was which university? It is Madras Veterinary College, right? This MVC, Madras Veterinary College, was founded on 1st of October in 1903 and was the third veterinary college in India and also recognized as the Southern Regional Postgraduate Institute.